I'm back. Well, what have we got today? Very nice little piece of gear, actually. Yeah, light. It's called the Boss GT-1. And I saw this a while ago, where people were talking about it being a mini GT-100. Yeah, that sounds good. GT-100, pretty good piece of gear, and I reviewed that a while ago. It'll be up there somewhere. I'll put one of them little information things, so you can go and watch that as well if you want. But Boss talk about this unit as being, as I said, the sort of baby of the GT-100. So if you haven't got the amount of money that stretches to 300 odd pounds or 400 odd dollars, well, you can buy this, and I think this one cost me something like about 149 pounds. It's probably about $220 or maybe something like that in the USA. So yeah, looks pretty cool. I like the mini pedal, you know, the little tiny pedal, and it doesn't take a lot of space on the ground. Yeah. So what we're going to do with this one is I'm going to do a inside and outside thing, so you can get an idea of what's inside it. If you hop across to that review that I did on the GT100, you'll be able to compare the innards. Yeah, that sounds a good idea. Of course, things have moved on a bit, haven't they, since the GT100 was made, and this is the GT1. Don't confuse it, by the way, with the GT001. That's a piece of, it's not very good, let's put it that way. This one, I have actually had a little play around, and it does sound pretty good, but you'll get to see that later because we've got an audio section of this. But what we're going to do, first of all, is to connect up a computer and show you how that works and tell you all about it and tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Yeah, sounds interesting. And then we'll go and flip the lid open, have a look inside, and then come back and have a bit of a rundown of what's going on here before you actually hear it. Yeah, it all sounds like a plan. Hold on. Yeah, when I first got this product, it had got firmware in here that was version 1.03, I think it was. It could have been 1.01 or something. But anyway, there was an update on the internet, and I downloaded that. I think that's 1.05. So yeah. Do that right away because you can get funny things going on with these things if you don't get the firmware up to speed. But do follow the procedures because they are a little bit different on this one than they were on, say, the GT100. Now, before we actually get down to business, understand that it doesn't come with a USB cable. And there's more bad news too. It comes with 4 batteries. It doesn't come with a power supply. Now, I happen to have a power supply, which is great, but if you haven't got a power supply, these batteries are only going to last so long, and they sort of flip in here underneath. Yeah. And I like how you can lose the cover as well. That's pretty cool. But bear that in mind, no power supply, you might get through a lot of batteries. Okay, well, I've got it connected up, and basically, if you're running Windows 10, the drivers for this unit will be automatically installed, which is great. Yeah, you've got to turn this on, and how you do that is you have to have an input guitar lead, and when you do that, it magically turns on. Let's leave that out of the way for now. But when you've turned it on and it's woken up and done its thing, let me show you on the screen down here of how you upgrade the firmware. It's all very easy, really. There's the drivers going on. You'll notice also that the driver is able to stream audio in and out the PC. Basically, to upgrade the firmware, you just extract it to your desktop. Put these 2 files into it on here. It'll appear as a drive, and basically restart it by holding a couple of keys down. It's all covered in the manual, that is, or in the instructions. But that's how you do it. I then installed Boss Tone Studio, which you also download. Here it is. And that should be seeing the GT1 as it does, and we can open that up. It's just taking a look at what's in there now. And anytime soon, there you go. We can look at the editor for all these different, I changed number 71, I think it was. Yeah, 71. And if you look under the noise gate, you'll see this is set to 65. That was set at about 15 and it's giving a bit of hum out, so I pushed that one up. We can go to the Librarian too, and here's one I set up earlier. I just pulled these together from those and pushed them back to 1, 2 and 3. You can see them there. It's as simple as that. Now you also have the facility of going to Tone Central, which is here. And this will bring up a window that's connected over the internet. So you can pull these sounds down and practice to it and all that sort of stuff. Now I'm not going to go into depth any further on this video because I've done this before. I've covered it all in my other videos, probably the GT-100 or maybe one of the others. Anyway, it goes away and does it all, pulls it all down, and you can copy them into your own system. That's basically the idea. Well, there you go. I'm not going to spend hours on it. I just want to give you a quick bit of an insight. You do it yourself. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is whip this apart, and we're going to take a quick look inside. Let me clear all this clutter away, like the PCs and things, and we'll have a look inside, and then we'll move on to looking at the controls and things. That's all interesting too. Hold on. And here we are, so having a quick look inside. In fact, it's quite impressive. This board doesn't look that dissimilar to the GT-100 that I saw. It might be slightly laid out different, but it's still got the very familiar chips in here that all look so reminiscent of the GT-100. And don't forget this little one over here hidden away. Extremely well made. They always are in Boss products, and believe it or not, this one's made in China. So it just does go to prove that you know, Chinese products are not always bad. It's usually down to how the sites, you know, the manufacturing plants are managed more than anything. Go and ask Apple; they'll tell you all about it. They're made in the same place probably. Anyway, there you go. You get a quick rundown inside. I'm not going to go into any real depths because they don't tell me what this is and they don't tell me what that is. All that looks a bit like sort of memory and things like that. I just wanted to show you the inside. Yeah, all very nice. Let's go back. Well, there you go. Screwed back together. Now, think about this, you know. It feels really robust. The bottom's made of plastic, but it doesn't really deter you from the product. It's all metal up top, so to speak, as they say in England. Yeah, cracking little wire. Yeah, well, it's not just wire, it could be a lot of things. But yeah, really nice. I took a liking to this one the second it came out of the box, but I've listened to it since, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to run around the back now, take a quick look around here, because I know you need to know. And then we'll go around the front and have a look at the gubbins and works, see what happens. Yeah. Well, blow me, I can do everything in one take. It's not a massive unit, but it's all pretty good anyway. Okay, so in here, you'd put your power supply. It's one of them PSA ones from Boss. Don't go and use something else, will you? Otherwise, you'll be sending it back as faulty, I guess. You could put the batteries in for now. This one here is USB to computer, it says, but the thing is, you can also use this to stream the audio out of this into your computer for recording, which I know you can do that on the GT-100 too. You can do it on a lot of different products these days, but this is nice and compact and, you know, all very good. We've got Control 1 and Control 2 for expression pedals. Now, these are a bit like, if you was to use one of these expression pedals here, you can hang them on the end of this one, should I say. Or you can have the momentary switch ones or whatever you want to put on there. You get a splitter cable because it can control two, so you can control two different things, if you will. So enough about that one. You know, add them at your peril. You've got to buy them, and they're probably dearer in the unit, I guess. Unless you buy the cheap ones like I do. We've got an output, which is right and left. Left's mono, usual sort of thing. They're just regular 6.3mm jacks, or quarter jacks, as they say in the States. We've got a socket for the phones, and I can tell you, it does sound pretty good through phones, because I've tried that out. We've got an auxiliary in too, so if you want to put your Apple in there, it's all good. You can put your pears and oranges in too. No, if you want to put your Apple iPod in there or something like that to play to, it's all good. And don't forget it to stream out there if you want it to. And lastly, we've got the input, and magically hidden underneath it is power on. And yeah, it is there, but I did look around for a switch. I have to say, crazy man, crazy. That's a way of saving money. No switch. So there you go. That's actually the rundown at the back. There's little else to see here. So I'm going to flip the unit over, and we'll start looking at what's good on the top. Yeah, it's all pretty good, actually. I really like this unit. Now, unfortunately, it's not so easy to see this display here. I've already changed the way that this works, but one of the first things you need to do is to go into this menu system and choose output with this N knob. Hit enter, and you can set the output to whatever it is you're going to go out of. There's a load of different things. I mean, it's nice to set it on phones if you're not outside or anything, or your amp's not around and stuff like that. But you've got a load of different choices there. I'm just going to leave it on phones for now. So we choose that, and then we exit and exit again. And that's your first your setting that you need to set up. From there on, you've got actually 99 user presets, and you've got 99 what do they call them, P99, probably just patches, factory patches those are, and there's a lot of them. So if we whiz around back to patch number 1, patch number 1 is high gain stack, that's from the factory. So across here you've got, this is actually patch 1. It's got a BPM of 120. It's called high gain stack. It's all very convenient, really, because you've got these little things across the bottom of the screen, as you can see up there. And these knobs up on the right hand side, 1, 2 and 3, are all controlling those 3 things. Very simple. And also for any patch, one of the things you note straight away is that whatever's turned on has got this little light on it. Very nice. If I want that to be off, I can just literally turn it on or off. It's absolutely that simple to use. Okay, delay, I've got delay. For example, if I wanted to change the parameters on this delay, I simply just hold it down on the screen. Well, you'll see it across there somewhere. The screen's got time, feedback, E-level, all sorts of things across here. And you can turn it on and off, obviously, just like that. You see it going on and off. It doesn't change any parameters, but these 3 knobs over to the right hand side then control the parameters within the effect. Yeah, very simple. And when you've had enough of adjusting that to your liking, you can exit out just very simply back to where you were. Now, I have to say that the whole thing's been built around simplicity. So if you think it's hard to use, or you think it could be, you can just trust me on this. It's so simple to use, it's hard to make a video. Yeah, I've got other things in here, such as the main menu, but actually I'll just talk you through them. I don't want to spend all day going through menus. There's no point. This unit's really simple. We've got the original thing that we had to start off with, which was the output setting, which we set for headphones. Then we've got a display setting to adjust this display so you can see it better. In reality, I can see this display perfectly, but the camera doesn't like to be fed with very bright displays. I've tried adjusting it, but I can't show you. So we've got a play knob here where we can play various things. Various things, that is, within the looper, because if you look down here on these 2 here, this unit's got a looper in it, and I think it lasts about 35 or 40 seconds or something like that. It's nothing particularly long, but probably long enough. And that's in mono. so the time reduces if you go into stereo and that sort of thing. We carry on along. We can program these knobs to do different things. Yeah. But I left them as they were, as factory. Move along a bit more. We've got preferences, and in the preferences, let's have a quick look. Preferences are patch or expression 1, patch or control 1. So various choices that you can make about how it operates for you. It's all exciting, but I hardly ever go in them things myself. Then we've got some more parameters for the loop, and looking at that, it just adjusts the level of the loop. So that's a pretty boring one. We've got a USB setting, which controls the mix, among other things. You can take the effects out, or you can get rid of the effects on the output. And you can have it direct monitoring, which means that the latency that you normally get on these sort of things when you're recording is substantially reduced to a few milliseconds. That makes a lot of difference when you're recording. So bear that in mind. Great facility. Move along a bit more. You don't see all these things, but I wouldn't worry. This is the calibration for this pedal over here. You can recalibrate that. I won't worry with that too much. And then we've got factory reset if all else fails. And you exit back out of there. Now what I do want to cover, a few quick editing settings. And you've got a little button up here called an edit button. The easy edit. I like easy things. And this pedal, this is one of the reasons I like it. It's just pretty easy to use. Okay, let's imagine we've got the program in here that we want, or the patch we want. If I just hit edit, you'll see that little screen that's appeared up there. And each one of these knobs controls each one of the various parameters that's in this easy edit screen. For example, on the left hand side here, you can see that it affects tone. And if I adjust with this, I can run through basic tone, mild, clean, crunch, Brit combo, blues, overdrive, distortion, classic rock, rock ahead, stack amp, Latin lead, metal riff, heavy riff, and on it goes. Well, I'm going to just wind them back. If I move to the middle one, that talks about vibes, as you'll see. It's probably there by now somewhere. And if I whisk through that, we've got through, or chorus, or deep chorus, or stereo chorus, or deep flanger, light flanger, tremolo, phaser. What else we got? 12-stage phaser, rotary, fast, and so on and so forth. Loads and loads of parameters to quickly edit. On the third one here, we've got echo. Well, we've got through, we've got overdub, gate, double note, slapback, medium delay, mod delay. Notice that this has started flashing when this is just giving the modulation timings. And there's another one there called long delay, and we can hit that to get the right time of the effect. There's loads more in here, stereo delays and all sorts, note delays. I'm just going to exit out of that for now. But you can see, hopefully, that there is a huge amount of very simple things to change. And that's what's great about the pedal. It's take it with you, plug it in and play. And with using Tone Central, you've got all these other parameters, all these other patches that you can download and turn this into a rocking beast, or not. If you don't play rock, you could be blues or anything else, couldn't you? Now you can also see there's another knob here called Select, and that also works on this window. And when I hit that, you get various genres like this. Let me show you. As you'll see from the image over there somewhere, we've got Genre Studio, and we've got lots of other things that we can easily choose with these knobs again. So at the moment I'm on Super Clean and Studio, but if I was to twiddle this around, I've now moved on to Clean, and then I'm on Envelope. So we've got a number of effects. You'll see them flirting on and off across here. But on the second knob, I can put it back where we want it, maybe there. I can then move down all these other settings that are related, and while you can't see them, it's whizzing through everything that relates to a particular effect or type of preset, if you will. And we can go even further than that. You see all these things changing as we go. Really simple to use. I can't show you this on video, which is a real pity, but just take it from me that it's pretty simple. We also have the obvious tuner. You can't see the screen again, but I'll put it on there and you can see what I'm talking about. Pretty good tuner. I've checked it. Works very nicely, as they do. Not much to say other than that, is there? There's also another button here called Memory Edit, which will take you, let me come out of it, it will take you into the actual memory for this preset. If we do that, it'll be on the screen now somewhere. And then we've got like a chain of effects. It's very common these days to see these chain of effects, and you can move them around, you can change the type, you can select them, you can this, you can that. So, you know, by moving effects around, often they change the way that the overall tone sounds. And this is no exception. Even on a tiny little thing like this, you can go and do that. And don't forget, when you load up that Tone Central thing, you can edit all this stuff actually on a PC or on a Mac, if you can't afford a PC. I shouldn't say that, should I? But basically, very, very simple, nice and easy to use, and we can move things around very easy. I'll move the FX1 around and show you on screen. Now, as it's likely that you can see what I'm talking about somewhere there, the FX has been moved across from the left hand side. It's been moved across 1, 2, 3 places and dumped down there somewhere in the middle. But I can do that really for everything, and you can just hop around, select and take the overdrive there. You can't see it, I'm afraid, but I can just pick that up and move it around with this knob. All very, very simple. When I've had enough, I can exit out like that. Now, when you want to save your latest patch, you just press exit and enter together, and you're presented with another screen. Indeed, as you can see there. Well, the left hand one is obvious, write it, and you can write it into any particular place. Or you could exchange this one with one that's already stored somewhere else. Or you can initialize this patch to be a completely fresh one. I'm not actually going to save it because I don't need to. I've already done a load of work on it and I don't want to lose what I did. But it's as simple as that, again, just to save these things and to use the pedal in general. Now, I'm not going to bore you with going through all these menus because we can't really see them, which is a pity. You know, about how you, for example, assign the control and expression pedals and things like that. It does support the FS5U and the FS6. That's another one that it supports. And I think there's another one called an FS7, which is more like a sort of A-B rocker type of thing. Now, I did find one thing a little bit weird about this unit, and that is, well, not really the unit, but actually the manual. The manual doesn't actually tell you, not in the version that it comes with at least, what effects are in the unit. You have to sort of sit there and look through them, but it does cover all the usual sort of culprits that we would want to use, let's put it that way. And I guess you can guess most of them along here, but you know, some of these modulation effects, I mean, there's quite a load in there. I could sit here and shout them out, but I don't think I will. For your £149 or your sort of $220, I guess, I'm not sure of the American price. It's a cracking unit, honestly. It really is. Really well made. Load of stuff inside. Really nice board inside. You've seen it. And the sound's good too, which you're going to get to hear anytime soon. I'm back. Well, there you have it. The little Boss GT-1. Yeah, awesome pedal. Really, really great. For the money, what can you expect? It's just probably one of the best pedals around for the price that you're going to find. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I like the GT-100 with its 2 screens. And this is a little bit more, you know, nitty and awkward to get at, but not by much it isn't. And the effects and the rest sound great, which you're going to hear, like I said. So, Well, summing up, what you get is you get a very robust pedal. It's a very robust pedal. It does everything it says on the tin, but it I assume it does, because they don't tell you what effects are inside it by default. Maybe there are on the internet and things, but fancy not having them in the manual. That's stupid. Okay, well, there it is. What's the score I'm going to give it? Well, I think this one, to be honest, for what you pay and what you get, this is a 9 out of 10. And yeah, I think it deserves it too. Now, this particular one, I didn't go to my local dealer, because sometimes my local dealer is a little bit slow, and I wanted to get this one out there pretty quick, because I know there will be a lot of interest in the GT-1 pedal. As I said, don't confuse it with the GT-100 and go and order one of them things, because bad news. This one's a rock and roller, this, and I bought this one from Guitar, if you've ever heard of them. They're in Glasgow, as they say in England. Well, Scotland. Anyway, somewhere there. It certainly isn't Dallas. And I paid, I paid £165 for this one. I paid a little bit more than my 150, but no, I didn't get any discount, because what you find these days is with all of these products, you're finding that it doesn't matter where you go, they're all the same price. You ever noticed that? Yeah, I have too. But what I can say is the guy that got this to me pretty quick, he did a pretty good job. And as far as ordering over the internet's concerned, when I need something fast, yeah, he was as good as you got. It came in on the Friday and I had it Monday, so couldn't get it signed. Well, I could. I didn't want to spend the money. I'm miserable. So, GT-1 guitar effects processor, 165 quid, free shipping. So I've got another couple of little things to just talk about before we get to hearing it. But if you checked at the beginning of the video, there's a little section telling you what's covered where. So yeah, don't forget to visit my website, www.TonyMckenzie.com. I keep insisting I'm going to update it, but man, it's time. I'll probably spend all Christmas doing that at the rate I'm going. But it will get updated. Trust me on this, it will. And don't forget www.gravitywavecd.com and go and find out about that Gravity Wave CD that I recently made with Alan Bruce. I've got loads of them to sell. Come on, help me. And if you go and buy one on there, you can buy it cheaper elsewhere. You can download it. You can this, you can that. But the thing is, if you buy it on there, we'll give you a second album free. And what do you want? Ship it anywhere in the world, except Timbuktu. Anyway, enough of this frivolousness. It's coming up now, so you're going to be able to hear it yourself. I'm not going to go through every single patch. No, I'm not doing that. I'll just choose a few, and the ones that I do go through, by the way, are patches that are in this by default from the factory. I'm not going to change a bean on the unit. You're going to hear it exactly as it comes. So, and don't think that factory patches are always rubbish, because they're not. Some of them aren't. I could name you machines that I've used where some of the patches are awesome. Some of them are crap. But that's just life. But it's subjective, remember that. I've already played this and some of the sounds were nice. Oh, and by the way, I've got another review coming up presently of something that's pretty nice. Thing is, I'm not going to show you too much of it. That's all you're going to see for now. And it's too much. Get off. So here it comes. And it's coming up that way. Right now. Till next time. Anyway, this is super clean, which is I set to be number one, really. I like this sort of tone. Great tone, really. Now this is supposed to be a rectifier tone, which it probably is, but maybe not as we know it. Who knows? Let's try that. not bad. Take two. Kick that pedal out, which is without the harmony. Yeah? Oh, let's kick the pedal in. And here's what you get. Oh, you get a bit of reverb. This one's called Add Transparency. Now, maybe it does. This is an acoustic simulator. Straight, it says. Should sound like an acoustic. And with the control in. Now this one's called a Royal Lead, which is interesting really because we're going through a Mesa Engineering Royal Atlantic. Should be interesting. I'll leave it with the control one off first and then on afterwards. Should be interesting. Wah-wah pedal. You get the idea. Just in case I didn't get the last one, is Stack Crunch on drive. This one's called Basic Blues. With the control one.